Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 40 of Kansas Missing and Unsolved Podcasts. As usual, Ricky Chabruggy with Derek Relaford. How's it going down there in Arizona, Derek?
Pretty good, man. A little chilly, but yeah, the podcast turns 40 today. It's officially old.
Yeah, I can't believe we're 40 episodes in. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. You said March will be your year point whenever we.
Yeah, when we get back to March, here in a couple months.
What's up, Nisi?
I'm not sure what, I get the love and hearts, but I'm not sure. Oh, with flowers. Okay, I got it. It's flowers.
Nice. We want to remind everybody that we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are on Periscope, which is you will find that on Twitter. So if you could share the show on Facebook, retweet the show on Twitter, check us out on YouTube, wherever you're watching. Thank you for being here tonight, and we're gonna cover some cases tonight. It hasn't been long since we've seen each other. It's only been a few days.
Yeah, so we've got I think 9 to cover tonight. Not too many.
Not a ton of cases tonight, but enough to keep us going. My son 2 days ago got the sniffles. And so then yesterday he got a fever. They went up to like 102 basically.
Uh-oh.
And then this morning my other son started having he looks pretty run down. No fever yet, but just really runny nose, congestion. Just doesn't look like he's feeling good. And so we find out tomorrow if our house has COVID. I don't know. There's no telling, man. Like he has the symptoms of a cold,
Right.
but that's like the symptoms of COVID for the most part. So we're going to go get a test tomorrow. I don't even think it's a rapid test. So I think we're just going to play it by ear. So far, nobody's like in bad shape or anything. Everybody's doing fine, just a little sniffly and stuff. I'm fine. No symptoms for me yet, but it's only like day 3 of my son being sick. So we got that. Yeah, we do need to get on TikTok. We need help with all that stuff. We're not hip.
I don't have TikTok and never done it, so I wouldn't be getting to know how to use it. I'd have to have my daughter show me.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ricky's got daughters that'll tell him all about TikTok.
Oh, yeah, especially.
And then he'll probably tell him to get off there once he knows what it is.
No, I've heard about TikTok. I've seen some stuff on there. It looks pretty cool and stuff, but like everything else, there's good points, there's bad points.
Yeah, it's it's a really cool place for people to meet people, and there's a lot of funny stuff on there. There's a lot of like crazy stuff on there, but I mean you get that with anywhere you go. Sarah's actually on TikTok if anybody's interested.
Nisi says it's easy as apple pie, and she says you got this.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm not really that worried about it. So far, so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing okay. I kind of hope it is COVID and it's just a really mild case, and then we don't really have to worry about it anymore. From what I've read from a couple of articles, I don't know. Easy to go viral. Yeah, it's easy to go viral on TikTok. So, the reason we're here tonight is because I met Ricky and I decided I'm going to make this man a star, and I'm halfway there.
Yep. Yep, and I had to, since today was episode 40, I went and I had to go get me a haircut and get all nice and everything. And
see, now that's where we got sick, Ricky. We went to my son calls it the salon. It's really just a Great Clips.
Yes.
But we went to Great Clips, and that's where we got sick.
Yeah, that's where I went, Great Clips. Fortunately, there was only 2 people working and me and 2 other people in there.
Yeah, well, we made it this far without getting any sickness. It might not even be COVID, but we'll find out. Has a 2-year-old been found, Ricky?
Yes, he has been found, and his grandmother has been taken into custody. Yep, she was charged with felony parental interference with custody, I believe.
Really?
Something to that degree. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad he was found safe. I was really worried about that. You get a child that young.
Yeah.
I knew Ricky first, to be honest. Yeah. Yep, 2-year-old was found this afternoon. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess what happened was his dad, I can't remember the little boy's name now, Kyrese, I think it was. his dad took him to his mom's for a visit, I believe, and grandma was bringing him back, but she didn't bring him back, and that's what started the whole thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And Spider was found safe, and he was returned back to his dad.
I'm glad they have like Amber Alerts now, though, because God help the parents 30 years ago. Whenever their kid went missing, you just had to wait for gossip to tell the town that your kid was missing.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. They didn't actually issue an Amber Alert for him. They said
Oh, really?
it didn't fit the criteria.
Was it because a loved one was with them, or?
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, so there needs to be, they either need to, overhaul the Amber Alert system and rework it a little bit or come up with a new system or something. Because I think that some kind of an alert should have been issued.
You would think that, yeah, there's if I don't care if it's my mom or something. If somebody takes off with my kid and they're not responding to me and not bringing me my kid,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's somebody I know. It's like, no, we gotta something's going on. They're not behaving the way that I know them to behave, and this something's fishy, and I want to get to the bottom of this. And I hate that there's any kind of system in place when you have a missing child, when it's like, well, does it meet the criteria? It's like, well, the criteria should be, is the child missing? Have we not seen the child in a while? Okay, but we're not police. We're not trying to judge. We that sometimes they might not have issued an Amber Alert, but there was a lot of people that basically treated it as an Amber Alert and started looking immediately and contacting people and stuff. So you do have people that care.
Yeah. Nisi's asking, which case has you most concerned this week? Up until Kyrese was found, his was. There is another one we're going to be covering tonight, of Leslie Tomlinson, that's got me concerned. I've been talking to her mom, and they're concerned that she may no longer be with us.
Oh, really?
She didn't say why or anything, but she fears that something bad happened to her. So that one's got me worried.
But I mean, like, how do you not go there if you have a missing child? How do you not immediately just assume something bad? I mean, that's just like, I would, it's like, it's hard to have hope whenever you don't know where your kid is, Yeah.
Amy was saying, thank goodness I never heard of this until today. I looked at our local news posts online. Are you referring to Kyrese, Amy, or is there another one you're referring to?
I can go ahead and put Kyrese's located safe flyer on the screen.
That's fine.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that.
Initially, they were thinking the other guy might have been with the grandma and Kyrese, but when they updated later, they didn't really mention him. So I don't know if they didn't think he was no longer with them or what the deal was. But yeah, there's Kyrese.
So what about the two on the right? Any news on them?
Jessica's the grandma, and Nathan was, I guess, must have been a friend of grandma's or something, I guess.
So all four of them they couldn't find?
Well, like I said, Nathan they thought might be with him, but it wasn't definite.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Jessica was the grandma that didn't return Kyrese to his dad and stuff, and she's the one that's in custody now.
Well,
okay, thank you, Amy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got to take the kid back.
I initially hadn't heard of Kyrese either when I first woke up this morning. I had a gal that I know that messaged me and asked me if I'd heard anything on him, and I was like, I haven't even heard of this case. And then I got up and got around and got online, and oh, there it is. So I made Kyrese's flyer and got it posted.
Here's another question. Any updates on Kyler? Yeah, we were not talking about Kyler right now.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything on Kyler either lately. I remember he was involved in Kara Kopetsky's murder, and then later on Jessica Runyon's murder. Yeah. It was sad that he did that to both of them, and I'm sure neither one of them deserved it. I just really hope he doesn't see the light of day.
You hope, man. I watch a lot of true crime documentaries and stuff, and they'll sit there and tell you the story for an hour about how this monster just terrorized people. Yeah. And at the end of it, they're like, he was sentenced to 22 years. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Why? what sentence to forever? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how is this person going to get out in 20 years after they did that kind of stuff? It's just crazy, man. Like,
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, back there backstage, can you check on Kyler Eust and see if there's any updates on his case for us? His trial was delayed due to COVID. That's kind of what I was wondering.
yeah, he goes to trial in April, she says.
Yeah, April. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some other ones around the country that, as far as made me question. Like there was, I can't remember what state it was in, but a guy was convicted of basically raping a child that was under 10. And for whatever reason, they gave him probation. I was like, what? He should be not only, he should be like locked away and, the key thrown away or something. Because,
We caught a guy that was like probably 45 years old. And when I was living in an apartment here in Phoenix, when we first moved here, we got an apartment for the first year while we looked around, see where we wanted to live. And we caught this guy that was like 45 years old filming children. And the father, he wasn't filming my children. He was filming my neighbor's daughter. And she was like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not good with ages. Maybe 10. Little kid, little girl. She'd be riding her scooter out front. It's my friend's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she caught him filming her and her friends, and she confronted him. And then so my buddy went to his house, and the guy got real threatening and everything. So anyway, my buddy calls the police. I call the police, and I talked to a police officer here in Phoenix, and I was like, "Hey man, we got this guy. He's like filming our children." And he's like, "Where is he filming them?" And I was like, "Around the apartment complex." And he was like, "I'm sorry, that's creepy, but it's not illegal." It's crazy. You can walk around filming children and not go to jail for it. Like it's just like what? Like that is a sign. That is if somebody's walking around filming little kids. I mean, that should be a sign to maybe talk to them or something. But they didn't even show. They didn't even come over, Ricky. They're like, "Yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah, it's not illegal. Just tell your kids not to go in public places if they don't want to be filmed by creeps." I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy. It might have been a different story if he was like, filming them through a window while they were changing.
No, he was in his house filming outside the window, but they were sitting on because he said it was his steps, but it was like 4 people shared the steps. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
If I catch somebody filming children through a window, I'm just like, hey, bro, you're a little weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we should tell everybody in the neighborhood that you did that, so everybody's a little more, and I'm not trying to like do a witch hunt or anything, but I mean, I'm just trying to let people know that it's like. It's really hard to get some of these people, get attention put on them where you can do something and prevent a lot of these crimes that we talk about every week, It's just
one case in Idaho where a guy was, I think it was Idaho. His son was actually accused of or suspected of killing his wife, and the guy's dad was obsessed with his daughter-in-law, and at one point he had gotten nailed for taking pictures of the neighbor girls. He was filming them through their bathroom window while they were taking a bath or shower and changing clothes and whatnot. He got locked away.
That's good.
Yeah, he got locked away, and he was eventually released, and then he ended up dying of a heart attack.
AJ Perez, Ulysses, any updates? We just covered him last week, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on him yet. Yeah, we did cover him last week. I haven't heard anything just yet. I'll have to do some checking to see what I can find out.
Yeah, we haven't got anything on that. Well, let's get into some cases, Ricky. And by the way, everybody, whatever you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll talk about pretty much anything true crime. We're here to help find some people, and that's sort of the main drive of the show. But if you want to talk about cases from anywhere in the world, we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
we're not afraid of that. So go ahead and tell us about is it Ariana, Ricky?
Yep, Ariana Hernandez. Yep. First, I'm gonna say Angel was saying she was gonna call it a night and saying goodnight, and then I saw she commented further down the way there. So yeah, Angel, hang around. We're covering some cases now.
Yeah, please hang out, Angel.
Yeah. All right. Ariana Hernandez is missing from Wichita, Kansas. She's been missing since January 18th, which is yesterday. She's 16 years old. She's 5'5" tall. She weighs 130 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Ariana's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Ariana, if you're out there, give somebody a call, let them know where you're at, and let them know where they can come get you and get you back to where you need to be. You're 16, and I know 16-year-olds tend to think that they can handle it on their own, but sometimes there's situations out there that you not necessarily can handle on your own. You need some help. So that's all where you are. And I've got a 16-year-old daughter myself, so I know what's going on. It's hard. Being a teenager, it's rough because you're not a kid anymore, but you're not quite yet an adult. You're kind of in that gray area, trying to figure out where you fit in and what your role is and everything. And sometimes you need help getting it figured out. So let's get back to where you need to be and get some help.
Yeah, for sure. And like we always say every week, if you're not comfortable calling a police station or calling, messaging Ricky on the page here, who'll answer you in morning, noon, or night, he'll answer you. If you're not comfortable messaging somebody you don't know, you have to have like a teacher or a friend's parent, somebody that you've met in your life that's older than you that you trust,
Right.
that that you can tell everything to. Maybe you've told stuff in the past to, where they have your back and they have your best interests in heart. Please contact or reach out to somebody that is like that in your life, and just let somebody know you're okay. Somebody that can get with everybody else and say, "Hey, she's okay. I'm talking to her. We're gonna figure this out." But right now nobody knows where you are, and that's a very scary situation. You're 16 years old. Wichita's a big city. A lot of bad stuff happens in Wichita every day. So let's get a message to somebody. Let somebody know that you're okay.
Right. Definitely. And we have Ava asking about any updates on Laney Davis and Terry Joe Deck. I'm gonna have to dig into that one. I'm not familiar with those names right off the top of my head. But then again, I do so many flyers and stuff, I can't quite keep them all straight. So
Was it Laney Davis, Terry Joe Deck?
And Kelsey, I haven't heard anything on Catherine Adam for a long, long time. It's been so quiet regarding her case and Kenny Wrightcheck's case, and uh, it's just been really, really quiet. I would like to really, get them. I'm going to keep getting them out there, and I'm going to make sure we get Catherine on an upcoming show too. Again, I know we've covered her before, way back in the early episodes, but I want to get her out there again and get her out so people keep people talking about her. Because she doesn't need to be forgotten. That's for sure.
And we covered her on like an earlier episode?
Say it again.
I said, but we have covered Catherine Adam on the show before.
I think we did in one of the early episodes, I believe. I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, we definitely will. I was reading the comments, right, so I didn't catch it. There was another one here from Candy. Yeah, I'll get Chance on there. I know I've got a flyer up for him, so yeah, we'll get Chance on there.
Chance is in a Kansas case?
It's a Nebraska case.
Okay. Close enough, man.
Yeah, close enough. I'm trying to make notes here, and I'm
just a short, boring drive north.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know why they call it the Cornhusker State. I had to go up there for an employee meeting when I worked at a truck stop back in the 90s, and cornfields as far as you can see.
Yeah. I used to drive to Nebraska like once a month for work, and but it was like the western end of the state, and I mean it was nice, but it was just a long road, 83 straight up, just all day, just in a big truck.
Kelsey, you're welcome, Kelsey. If I hear anything or anything like that, I'll get it, forwarded on. But we'll get her, covered. I'll make sure I get her in for the show next Thursday.
So we've covered this one before, but we do want to cover it again. Let's go ahead and talk about Cherish Mason.
Yeah. If you have her full flyer, show those two newer pictures at the bottom of that flyer too.
Okay, I'll pull those up. Go ahead and talk about it, and I'll pull them up.
Yeah, she's went missing again this time on December 10th of 2020. She's 14. She's 5'3" tall. She weighs between 115 and 127 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. and like she's missing from Melbourne, Kansas. I forgot to mention that. If you have any information regarding Cherish's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Osage County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-828-3121 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Cherish, to you as well. Reach out, let somebody know where you are, so I can get you back where you need to be. If you're dealing with issues or dealing with problems, don't try to go it alone. Reach out to, an adult you can trust that will help you. Just start by making a call saying, hey, and here's where I'm at and I'm okay, come get me.
And here are some additional pictures of Cherish. You said these are newer, Ricky?
Yeah, they're newer. They were
okay, they're just loading up real quick. So
yeah,
these are some newer pictures.
Yeah. Yep. And just added those to her previous flyer. I didn't want to take off the other ones because I wanted to keep the hairstyles on there in case she goes back to their hairstyle.
Well, and we know, typically with women too, a lot of women like to use the filters, which is fine. That's awesome. That makes them feel good and all that. Yeah. But the problem with it is sometimes it's hard to get a realistic view of what some of these people look like when their social media is only flooded with photos with filters. So, and that could be, I don't know, man. It's just like it's important that they get as many of these pictures out of. I like to call it different versions of these people. And again, it's just filters and people are just expressing themselves. But, a filter, makeup, different hairstyles, different clothing, they can make the same person look like 3 or 4 different people very easily. So it's we do encourage everybody to take a look at all the pictures on the flyers and know that you're kind of looking for more than one person. Just depends on how Cherish feels this day, and how she presents herself.
Right. And I like that there's a variety of, different hairstyles for, with the braided extensions, with the short hair. I like that there's a variety.
Yeah. And I'll post this one more time.
But I do agree with you. The biggest challenge for me when I'm making flyers is trying to, especially for the juveniles, not so much the adults, but the juveniles, is, making sure I can find photos that don't have the filters and the effects and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey, that one's always bothered me as well. I live in Salina, and I remember when that happened and everything. And not long after she went missing, we experienced a lot of heavy rain around that time. A lot of areas flooded, and I'm sure that really hindered the investigation and washed away evidence that was probably very valuable. So,
yeah.
And here's another one. I know this is old, but the Dolly Madison Bakery, I'd just like to have justice for those two. Yeah, definitely. I can't remember the two ladies' names. I'd have to pull their flyer up, but yeah.
We have covered that one, haven't
we?
Yeah,
they call it the Dolly Madison murders, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just so crazy.
It is.
So last week or the week before, we were talking about the case where the couple had left their house and there was a chance that they went into the Missouri River. Mm-hmm. Well, I was watching it's this old series. Yeah. It's basically where they interview true crime novelists about the case that they wrote about, and then they go and interview the police. It's basically like, it's just any kind of crime show, but you can tell it was filmed in like the probably late 80s. And but they covered this case where somebody had told somebody like, okay, the guy that's suspected for murder, he had me take him to a loading dock on the Missouri River, and he made me park, and then he made me park like 20 minutes from the loading dock when I told him where it was, and then he drove over there, and then 20 minutes later he came back and he told me to leave. He's like, and it was like 5-10 years ago, and I can tell you. So anyway, they go look at this place where he says he was messing with the boat dock, and they were missing a body and a car. So they go and I was asking, I was like, well, how mighty is the Missouri River? And it's a pretty stout river, man. Like they had video of it. And so they were talking about how the car goes missing, and then like 3 or 4 years after she's missing, nobody knows where she's at. Then the floods happened in '93, and they were just assuming that this car, if he did put a car in that river on that boating dock, 3 years before, that the river could have already washed it far away. And then you add on the floods of '93 where everything flooded. They were like, "There's no way we're gonna find this car." Anyway, they had some scientists come out and they had like this special sonar thing, and they found her car, man, and they found her, and they put the guy in jail. I mean, but like, so that I mean, who knows how many cars are in like the Missouri, just the Missouri River alone.
Oh yeah.
And like someday somebody's going to invent technology where you can just simply fly over it or something, and you can just see car, and just start marking stuff with you. I mean, someday that technology is going. It might already exist, but someday it'll be utilized, and there's going to be a lot of crime solved because that was kind of the way people got away with it back in the day. Just if you had a large body of water, you could kind of just get away with stuff. It's really hard to find somebody in water,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was making me think about that case, man, because I was like, how big can the Missouri River be? But wow, that's a real river, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, when Adventures in Purpose, they went to check that river in conjunction with Billy Bob and Mary Lou Black, and he was saying when he was down there underwater, checking out for this one car that they found on sonar, that the current down there was crazy. He said it was a pretty heavy current underwater. So yeah, it's a pretty hefty river.
Yeah, I'm scared. Mandy Sunderland.
Yeah, I think that's in conjunction with the Dolly Madison murders.
Oh, okay. Tell us about this. Is another one you said, and this is another thing. This is a social media thing. I'm pretty sure that the newest picture we have on here, you said, is what, 3 years old?
Yeah, they were actually from 2017. That was the most recent photos that I, as well as the person that asked me to do the flyer, could find. Her name is Emma Dornbush. She's missing from Wichita, Kansas since January 8th of this year. She's 13 years old. She's 5 foot 5 inches tall, weighs 190 pounds. She has dyed pink hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Emma's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-268-4111. Or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And again, Emma, don't try to take care of this stuff on your own. If you're having any issues you need help with, reach out to somebody that you can trust and start getting the things taken care of that you need to get taken care of. I mean, you're 13. It's way too young to be out there on the streets.
Way too young.
Yourself, it's crazy.
And this is another thing I want to talk, if any parents are listening. Like, this is horrible that we don't know where this girl is right now, and she is very young. She is 13 years old. That is a very scary situation. You have a city like Wichita and a 13-year-old girl. We don't know where she is. It's a very scary situation. Another scary situation is that the newest pictures we have of her are 3 years old. I encourage people, take pictures of your children and don't use filters. Make once every few months, just make them sit still. Take a picture of them in the kitchen, a profile. Yeah. You want to have pictures because, God forbid you're ever in a situation that, Emma's, parents are in right now where they're trying to find her and they have pictures of a 10-year-old girl, but we're actually looking for a 13-year-old girl. And everybody knows there's a big difference between a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. Human beings grow a great deal in those first few years. So from 10 to 13, you're completely different. So take some pictures of your kids every once in a while. You don't have to post them on social media or anything, but just, you're going to want to make sure you have pretty recent photos if for some reason your kiddo ever takes off.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one thing I noticed about these two pictures that she had on her Facebook profile there is they're both taken in a laundromat. And looks like it.
Oh wow, I just see that.
And it looks like they were obviously at different times, but yeah, both are in the laundromat.
Well, that's.
Yeah, let somebody know where you are and get back to a safe place. Like say you're 13, you're too young to be out there doing it on your own.
Tell us about Isaiah.
Well, he's one that I've actually done flyers for before, so he's no stranger to me. Isaiah Deshaun Watson, he's missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 4th of 2020. He was 15 when he went missing, and he's now 16. He had a birthday in late November. He's 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 135 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. you have any information regarding Isaiah's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And Isaiah, same to you, man. Let somebody know where you're at so they know you're all right and get you back where you need to be so you can, so you can take care of business and get whatever you're dealing with taken care of.
Yeah, man. 16-year-old, you have a lot going on right now. Whether you want to or not, that's you got school. Most people are having to work at 16,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to do, a lot of business to take care of. And like Ricky said, man, in 2 years you're calling the shots. It's up to you what you do. You make your own rules. But there's if you're going to school and you get a job or something, you don't have to be at home that much. You know what I'm saying? Like that was one thing I didn't get along great with where I at my home, growing up. So I went out and got a job so I didn't have to hang out there. And I wasn't bad at my house, but you know what I'm saying? Like, like you're 16, you're not quite an adult, but you're not quite a kid anymore either. You kind of have the option to go out and like kind of, build up who you are and stuff. And this is not the way that you want to start your story. You don't want to start your story, on the lam. Nobody knows where you are. You don't no money, none of that stuff. I mean, that's a scary place to be in, man. So rewrite your story, man. Go home and do it on your terms and get your stuff going, man. And 2 years from now, man, it's your game, man. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
And you just got one picture of our next case, right?
Yeah, just him, just the one. And I was actually contacted by family members. There's one that Nisi just put in there. I'll pop this up on the screen here. Terry L. Allen, case report number 16-year-old victim was last seen leaving her residence, 2600 block of Park on June 24th, 83 at 5:45. After she did not return home, her mother became concerned and started contacting family and friends trying to find anyone that had her. Jump that name down. See what I can find out on that one and see what I can get made. Thank you, Nisi. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to, I guess it's Hyro? Hyro?
I think it's Hyro, yeah.
Hope I'm saying that right. If not, forgive me. This is Hyro Rojas Cerna. I was contacted by a family member about him this morning. He went missing from Wichita, Kansas in October of last year. A missing persons report was filed on 16, 2020. He had been living homeless in the months prior to his disappearance. He's 32 years old. He is 6 foot to 6'1" and weighs between 170 and 180 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. He also has black facial hair as well. If you have any information regarding Hyro's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4111 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Now it's concerning to me because it's been cold outside and he's been living homeless. And, that one worries me.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. I hope he's, staying warm and fed and everything. I hope, I really do hope they find him and he's safe and well.
Did he have any kind of social media presence or?
I didn't really find anything. I looked, but I didn't see anything. I might have missed it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be worth,
So if anybody's seen him, get a hold of the Wichita Police Department, let them know where you've seen him at so they can go check it out and hopefully find him. So I know he's got family that's worried about him.
Yeah, that's been a while ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, hopefully if he's in the Wichita area, somebody will see him eventually. He has a Facebook, they said.
Yeah, I see that. I'll have to look it up. See if I can find some more pictures to add.
Ava, do you know if there's been any activity on it since October?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find out real fast here. Nope, if I spell it correctly.
Yeah, that is important, Ricky.
Usually I do pretty good.
Yeah, we'll look this up because We'll see if he's had any posts since October. Sarah says no. No posts since October.
Okay, well, that's not good.
She says it's under Serna Rojas.
I just found it. Okay.
Okay.
Just,
Nothing since August.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's scary, man. Like,
And it looks like
I hate to say it, but you understand a 16-year-old missing, because that just seems like somebody took off, sometimes. But 32, and nobody knows where he's at since October. That's not good, man.
No, it's not. And it looks like the picture I used for the flyer was actually a screenshot from a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the video that he did for his daughter.
Sarah says there's a chance his page is set to private, so only people that are friends with him can see what he's posting or see his friends.
That's possible, yeah.
A lot of people are like that. They're very locked down with their Facebook page. They don't want people seeing who they're friends with or any of that stuff. Well, if anybody sees him, contact, Wichita Police Department, contact KBI.
Yeah, somebody sent me an article about this one today, and I haven't had a chance to read it. It says genealogy and DNA testing help identify a Kansas teenager as the victim in a 54-year-old cold case. Investigators in the West Texas town of Pecos said 17-year-old Jolene Hemme of Salina, Kansas, drowned in a pool at the Ropers Motel on July 5th, 1966.
In Texas?
Yeah.
So they had somebody drown in a pool in Texas, and then just now they ran DNA on her and found out it's a girl missing from Salina.
Yeah. I'd never heard of her before.
Me and Sarah were looking at this murder that happened in Elkhart, and neither one of us had ever heard of it either. It's crazy how and it was maybe 5 years before we were born.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes this stuff you've been in Salina your whole life. You'd figure you'd hear about that case. You're in the line of work you're in.
Yeah. I'd never heard of her before. I'm going to read that.
I sent you that article today because my friend.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah.
My friend sent it to me.
Yeah, it was you. I can't remember if it was you or my brother. Because he usually sends me stuff like that.
Well, usually when I send you something, you've already seen it. So I'm always a little proud of myself when I break the news to you on something.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen that yet. So I'll have to read the articles later on. And Nisi posted one for Fox 4 on that one, too.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Awesome.
Police search for clues after Kansas teenager identified in 54-year-old cold case.
Wow. I love it, though, man. I love forensics, man. These people that think they got away with something. You didn't get away with anything.
Right.
We just haven't got to you yet. So all they got to do is run some tests and your turkey's cooked.
Yeah.
So live it up. If you're out there running from something, live it up because the DNA technology is coming after you.
Oh, yeah. Especially now that they're doing all these genealogical DNA things.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, man. They're going to keep the courts so busy with all these, because there's all these cases with DNA and they don't have anybody to match it to. But now people are, they don't even realize it, but their mom signs up for 23andMe, sends them their DNA, and they can piece it together somehow. We want to test that guy's DNA because it kind of matches. You know what I'm saying? It's all mathematics, and that's the thing. That's the ticket. DNA is going to come for a lot of people that think they got away with something, but they did not.
That's how they call it the Golden State serial killer in California was through DNA genealogy.
Yeah.
Tracked down a relative and then tracked him down and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
Tell us about Kateri Smith.
Well, hers was actually an update. I was asked to repost it, so I did. And the only thing I really updated was added the police department case number on it. But she's been missing since October 16th of 2020 from Wichita, Kansas. She's 15 years old. She's 5'2" to 5'5" tall, weighs 180 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Kateri, I'm saying that right, appearance or whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Or you can even call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678. And Kateri, the same for you. if you're having any issues you're having trouble with or anything like that, get hold of an adult you can trust and say, hey, here's where I'm at. Come get me back where I need to be so I can deal with this and move on. You're 15 and, you know, it's just, I know it's too young to deal with on your own.
Yeah.
And I apologize for my phone going dinging and donging and everything like crazy.
My dog barked. That's my alarm. Somebody shut a trash can in my neighborhood somewhere. So, if everybody that's watching, if you feel like sharing the show, that'd be awesome. You can check out patreon.com/KMUpod and check out some perks. And share in the comments if you have anything you want us to cover. We do like talking about Kansas missing and unsolved issues, but if you have some other true crime related topic, me and Ricky are true crime junkies, as you can tell, and we love to talk about stuff like that. So open for conversation for sure. In the meantime, though, tell us about Leslie Tomlinson.
This is one I was referring to earlier when Nisi was asking me which one that was really concerning me this week, and yeah, her name's Leslie Tomlinson. Her maiden name's, I guess, is Dimmitt, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Okay.
Missing from Wichita, Kansas. It seems to be a hot spot today. Missing since December 28th of 2020. She's 34 years old. She is 5'4" to 5'5". Weighs 130 to 140 pounds. She has blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. And I'm told she does change her hair color frequently. She also goes by the names Bunny Baby and North. She has been on the streets off and on for about the last 5 years, but she's never disappeared without contacting family, I'm told. She has paw print tattoos from her hand down her arm and also on her leg. It's unsure of which arm and leg that they are on. She also has the tattoo of the name Patrick on the inside of her left ring finger. If you have any information regarding Leslie's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4111 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And also, as I mentioned also earlier, her family is concerned that it's possible that she might not be with us anymore. I'm afraid that's not the case. The family apparently has reason to believe that might be the case. See if we can't get her found safe and get her back home.
I wonder if it's just a bad feeling or maybe he knows something he's not sharing.
I don't know. Well, I can tell you it was her mom that I would.
Oh, her mom.
Yeah, it's her mom that I've been talking to.
Sorry, I'm over here reading Annette Lawless that did a story on this. So I'm over here reading over here. So yeah. So where is Arkansas City?
It's Arkansas City. It's down in the southern part of the state, I believe, like southeast of Wichita a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see, and this is referring to Kateri Smith. Says her Facebook activity was from 5 hours ago. And yeah, it's not uncommon for these kids that run away to stay active on their social media. It's not uncommon at all. I see it all the time. Whether it's posts, pictures, shares, whatever, they do stay active. I haven't figured out the thought process behind it, especially when they're on the run, but, because you would think police would be able, and I'm sure they probably do, try to do traces on them to see where there are pings and see where they're hitting from.
Yeah.
And this is another one I'm going to have to dig into that I haven't heard about. Any thoughts on the human remains found at Gardner Lake last week in Johnson County? That one I have not heard about. Sarah, can you see what's going on with that one for me, please? Let's see what we can find out.
The skeletal remains found near Gardner Lake in Johnson County, sheriff says. The county sheriff is investigating skeletal remains found near Gardner Lake Monday. This is from the 12th. Responders with Johnson County Sheriff's Office include patrol, crime scene investigators, and detectives are at the scene today. Investigators have not yet determined an identity. It is unclear if foul play was involved. The Sheriff's Office asks anyone with information that may contact to help with the investigation. Call 913-715-5560. Says Gardner Lake is located west of Olathe and New Century Air Center. Okay. So it doesn't look like there's been much about it, but yeah, it looks like they found some remains there.
Yeah. And I had an email earlier today from KBI Media and Releases talking about it. It's an update on a suspicious death investigation in Crawford County, Kansas, and Arcadia. Talking about they'd received a tip indicating that a body could be located at 111 South Kansas in Arcadia. Deputies went to the address and made contact with 37-year-old Nicholas Adam Carrillo. Carrillo gave permission for them to look around the property. When searching, deputies discovered a deceased subject in the backyard. Carrillo fled from the area on foot. KBI was asked to assist on January 14th at approximately 1 a.m. Special agents and crime scene response team responded to Arcadia to investigate. Carrillo was located on the evening of the 15th in Arcadia. He was booked into Crawford County Jail around 10:10 p.m. He was charged with desecration of a body, possession of opiates, opium, narcotics, drugs, or certain stimulants, possession of drug paraphernalia, and interference with law enforcement. It's currently being held on a $15,000 bond. The deceased male subject is reported missing to the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. Investigators believe the death occurred in Kansas City, Missouri, and as such, they will be conducting further investigation into the man's death. It says any further inquiries related to this case are to be made to the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. So I got that in my email today. I'm on the KBI's mailing list.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. That way I can keep up with like silver alerts and whatnot.
Here's the crime scene on that lake today, or the lake that they found the remains at.
Oh, wow.
That could be, there's that, but honestly, man, there's a good chance that whoever that skeletal remain, whoever that is, there's a good chance you have a flyer for him.
That's possible. That's always the first thought that I think of when I hear about something like that is it somebody that I've had a flyer for?
I mean, obviously, if they're finding a body, you would assume people are looking for a body, So, and skeletal remains, it's been there for a while, So like
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's a flyer, man. Like that's obviously like somebody that somebody don't know where they are.
Yeah. I just have to wait and see.
It's always terrible when you find human remains, but on the other end of it, somebody, as long as they have enough information to find out who it is, like enough DNA evidence, whatever, to find out who it is.
Yeah.
Some family's going to get some type of resolution from that.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if there's any kind of identification found with them, or if they're going to have to try to do dental or DNA, or what they're going to have to do.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about Ronnie?
All righty. Let's see here. Ronnie Coleman been missing from Blue Springs, Missouri on January 11th, 2021. He's 57 years old. Unfortunately, they did not have his height, weight, hair, or eye color. He was last seen in the area of 3300 Northwest Jefferson in Blue Springs. He has the mental capacity of a juvenile. He was last seen wearing a blue t-shirt with a design of a face on it, black jeans, and black high-top shoes. If you have any information regarding Ronnie's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Blue Springs, Missouri Police Department Dispatch Unit at 816-228-0151. And hopefully we can help get him found soon and safe.
Looks like a nice guy, yeah. And hopefully we can get him home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff on TV to watch. People are worried about him. There's better places for you to be, Ronnie. Let's get you home.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I just checked the Blue Springs, Missouri Police Department's Facebook before we went on, and I did not see any updates or anything on him, so he's still out there missing. So let's help get him found.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Tell us about Savannah.
Yeah, this is one I did today also. Another one missing from Wichita, Kansas. There it is. She's been missing since January 15th of this year. She's 15 years old, 5 foot tall, 115 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Savannah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And again, Savannah, I mean, you're 15 years old. if you're needing help with anything or having some issues you're having a hard time dealing with, reach out to an adult that you can trust that'll, help you out with them or get you back where you need to be so you can, start dealing with them and get past them and move on. And, you know, it's, it's too young to try to deal with on your own. I mean, I know teenagers your age think they can handle it and, handle it by themselves and make it. But, sometimes you just need that extra help to help you get through. And, just reach out to somebody, let them know where you're at so they can help you out. My heart goes out to these kids that run and they're running. I mean, I know they obviously in their mind are running from something, and I know sometimes it's legitimate. They're actually, some of them are legitimately running from abusive situations, and I get that. But sometimes they run because they don't agree with mom or dad's rules or you know stuff like that. And I've talked about it before. If they're in foster care, running from authority and rules, or thinking they're better off on the streets by themselves or with friends, and or they may be into things that they can't get in foster care, like drugs or alcohol. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other thing I think about too is, especially with social media and everything, is did they run because they wanted to run, or were they in some way coerced or manipulated into running? Possibly. I mean that's something you got to think about too. So it's like,
Yeah. 15 is not an easy age. A lot going on upstairs, as far as your brain developing.
yeah,
You feel more independent. You feel like, you can kind of handle things on your own. And in a lot of instances, people potentially could, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just, you don't want to be, again, like I was talking earlier with Isaiah, you don't want to write your story this way. You don't want this to be the first chapter of your journey into being an adult and being on your own and everything. You generally want to have some type of plan whenever you go off on your own for the first time. You're not that far from being 18 years old where you can do whatever you want. You can get a place with your friends. You can do whatever you want. It's just, this isn't the way to do it. There's better ways to do things. Right now, you got people worried about you. You got people looking for you. Your picture's on Ricky's desk. That's never good. So, yeah, call somebody call a teacher, a friend, a parent's friend, somebody, let them know you're safe so they can at least get word to the Kansas Missing and Unsolved page that you're safe.
Alicia, was that the Facebook video or profile video she did? Excuse me. Because if I believe that it's the profile video she did, the picture on the far right was a screenshot that I did from that video. Unless she's updated it since then, which I just got the screenshot today, so I don't know. Because the pictures I was initially sent, okay, it was from the video. Okay, because the pictures I was initially sent were not that great. One was kind of small, and when I enlarged it, it pixelated it pretty bad, and the other one similar circumstance.
Yeah.
So I tracked down her Facebook and grabbed two of the pictures from that. The center one I actually got off KBI's website. They had that picture of her, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to borrow that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Like I said, I know some of these kids run from legitimate and like abusive situations and stuff, but it just, with social media and everything, it just makes me wonder, are some of these kids actually running because they hooked up with somebody online and they eventually talked them into running for whatever reason? I mean, it does happen. I'm not saying that's the case in any of these cases or any other cases that we've covered, but it's just one of those things that I think needs to be thought about by by parents, by law enforcement, by social workers. Is there the potential that they were lured into running or manipulated
Yeah.
into running or coerced into running? It's hard to say.
Yeah. It's scary, man.
Yeah.
A lot of not right people in the head out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Often made me wonder, what is it about what makes an adult male in his 20s or 30s or 40s or whatever think that it's okay to be messing around with a girl that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old? I mean, what makes them think that that's okay? You know?
Well, we talked about it earlier on the show. What makes me equally upset is that people can show this type of behavior and nothing happens. There's just, it's no good.
Jessica, are you referring to Chance Engelbert by chance? Didn't me. Sorry about the little pun there. I can't remember where he was missing from exactly. I can't remember. He had an argument with somebody and left at night and during a rainstorm. Was going to walk to I can't remember if it was Utah or Wyoming. He was
Oh, wow.
Nebraska there. Okay, yeah. She was. Yeah, I haven't heard any updates on that, but we were asked earlier in a comment about covering his case. So I'm gonna the next show that we do will be a week from this today, Tuesday. Be a week from this Thursday that we're going to do the next show.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
little bit of a wait.
And we are brainstorming about having a show coming up that we might cover a case or two or three, but we're going to kind of make it a kind of a Q&A where if you guys want to, hit us up with questions or anything, you can do that and we'll field questions and answer questions and stuff. We haven't decided when we're going to do it yet, but we've been talking about it and I think it'd be kind of a lot of fun to do, kind of get away from the norm a little bit and just have some fun. Kind of let us know your thoughts on that and what you think.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, sad deal.
You're welcome, Jessica. Yeah, it is a sad deal. It's apparently the night that he took off on foot to go walk in either Wyoming or Utah. Apparently it was storming pretty bad that night. But we'll get into more of that when we cover his case next Thursday.
Yeah.
I was hoping he'd have been found long before now, but he hasn't been yet. It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's actually our caseload for tonight. It's pretty short. I mean, it's only been a 4-day turnaround since the last show, so
yeah,
4 or 5 day. But so I didn't really have much, in the way of getting flyers made over the course of the last few days. I didn't really have many people get a hold of me, which is, good. I mean, it's glad that there's not very many missing.
Well, we're at 58 minutes. An hour, they say, is a good sweet spot for a podcast. So we did it just right.
Today alone, I did 7 flyers today. So
that was pretty much our show is what you did today.
It's interesting because for some reason, Tuesday has always historically for Kansas Missing and Unsolved been a very busy day.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Tuesdays, but it's always historically a busy
I think Monday, honestly, and not even a joke, I think Monday is tough to face for a lot of people. Yeah. So you see a lot of people that just take off on Mondays, and then they end up on your desk on Tuesday. Yeah. I mean, if there's any point in my life where I feel like giving up, it's Monday morning. I'm just like, I got to do it again. I got to go to work again. Monday mornings are. I mean, as a kid, I didn't like going to school because I was bad at it, but just Monday mornings, I dreaded them.
Yeah. Cammie, can you kind of clarify who they are talking about? I'm not sure what you're referring to. And help us out here a little bit.
She might be asking which case we were talking about. We actually just finished up our caseload for the night.
Yeah.
But feel free to take a peek back at the episode tonight when we're off the air here in a little bit. It'll be on there. And then also all the cases we covered tonight are on the Kansas Missing and Unsolved Facebook page.
Yeah.
Shareable flyers singled out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, of course, like we said, we were simulcast on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope.
Which we're going to be off Periscope pretty soon, I guess. Sarah's saying they're shutting that site down. But Twitter's supposed to have some other form of way to get your video on there, so we're working on that. But as of right now, until they shut us down, we are going to be live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope.
You're welcome, Cammie. And thank you for joining us, Cammie. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody tuning in and watching tonight, and their input in the comments and everything. I really appreciate all that. I'm really grateful for that. And I guess with that being said, I'm going to thank everybody again for joining us and hanging out with us and listening to us cover cases and talk about other stuff above and beyond the cases. And until we meet again a week from Thursday, which will be, let me get a date here for you guys. Today is the 19th. So it would be on the 28th, on January 28th. Until we meet again on January 28th next week, you guys stay safe, take care, God bless, and we will see you then. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, I don't think and I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought in a person, the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arms. To this playful assault, to disgrace in its arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone. Settle on the breath of all